Good afternoon. Welcome for the final day of the State Class B Legion Baseball Tournament from Townsend Field in LaMoure. Day 5 of the tournament. It's the championship round as Hope-Finley takes on LaMoure. Hope-Finley undefeated in the tournament, and LaMoure has one loss here at the state tournament, so Hope-Finley with one win today would become back-to-back state champions, and LaMoure would have to defeat Hope-Finley twice today to claim the state title. To get here yesterday, LaMoure defeated Rolette County 14-2, and it was Hope-Finley shutting out Beulah 4-0. Started things off here with 8 teams back on Wednesday, and now we are here in the championship on Sunday. And we did talk with both coaches, J.R. Thielges of LaMoure and Mark Frost, coach of Hope-Finley. We'll get to our interviews here on KMAV and KQLX in 1 minute. Welcome back to the pregame show. State Class B Legion Baseball Championship on KMAV 105.5 FM and 1520 AM Mayville, Portland, and online at KMAVradio.com and also on KQLX 106.1 FM and KQLX.com in Lisbon.
Visiting with J.R. Thielges, coach of LaMoure. Well, you're one of 2 teams left, and you got to beat Hope-Finley twice. You got to take it 1 game at a time.
Yeah, we got to go with our best pitcher, I think, tonight in the first game, and like you said, get that first game, and if we win that first game, you never know. They might be a little bit down on themselves. It's easier to play after a win than it is a loss, I think. We'll see what happens here.
Your ball club definitely showed up yesterday. 14-2 win, very convincing win over Rolette County. You got the pitching and you got the hitting as well, and a couple of big home runs.
Yeah, it's that second one, that grand slam, just took the wind right out of them, I thought. Looking at today, they've got the wind blowing out. I think that might give us a little edge as far as the sticks go, and hopefully a couple guys can get a hold of one today.
That game yesterday, because you're able to just use your one pitcher, Trent Van Dyke, who threw a really good ball game, that means you got to save up some of your other pitching.
Yeah, Casey's got all 12. Van Ink's got at least 6, I believe, and Everett's got all his innings left. We're not short on pitching today.
And you faced Hope-Finley just 2 nights ago, and maybe kind of a heartbreaker it was because you had the bases loaded, nobody out a couple times, and scored a run on a couple wild pitches in 2 innings. And 1 inning they just got hot, and that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, stay away from the big inning, I guess, is what Legion's all about. And we didn't do it the other night, and they got some hits when they needed it. And but yesterday, our kids came back strong, I thought. I was pretty proud of them that didn't hang their heads after a loss. And, came back and hit the ball well.
This has been a very competitive tournament. It's great to just be one of the last 2 teams left, no matter what the outcome is here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good teams here, and to be playing on the last day, that's quite an honor.
Well, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
J.R. Thielges, coach of LaMoure.
We'll talk with Mark Frost, coach of the Hope-Finley Legion, in 30 seconds.
Visiting with Mark Frost, coach of the Hope-Finley Legion. Here you are in the championship, and you knew you were going to be in the championship actually 2 nights ago with the win over LaMoure. But it was whether you're going to be undefeated today or not, and here you are undefeated, so you need 1 win, and LaMoure needs 2 for the state championship.
Yeah, it depended on how both teams did yesterday. LaMoure came through, big win, 14-2 over Rolette, and then we came up with a 4-0 win over Beulah. So we're down to the last 2 teams, the home team, the host team, and last year's defending champ, so this is going to be a good day.
It was a big game last night for Ben Parkman, both at the plate and then on the mound, a 2-hitter, and kind of odd how neither team even had a batter strike out last night.
No, everybody put the ball in play, which is, kind of odd. Usually you get a strikeout or 2, but no, both pitchers did a nice job. They were all around the plate, and the hitters did a nice job. I mean, they put the ball in play, not always, where you'd hope to put it for hitting-wise, because we didn't have a ton of hits either, but we just got them at the right time when we had some runners on and took advantage of it and scored 4 runs.
Your games in this tournament have been some close ones, and so far you've outscored your opponents 15-5, so that really shows 15-5. That's not really that close, but you got to think there's 4 games there, so you got 4 close games, and altogether 15-5, and that's really good. Your pitching has done the job giving up 5 runs, but only 3 of those earned, and an ERA of .72 in this tournament, and who'd have thought the numbers would be that good, and you hope it continues.
I certainly do today, and it's going to be tough. They have a good hitting crew. In fact, they scored 14 runs themselves yesterday, so they scored almost as many in one game as we done all 4 games, but, we're getting her done in the field, on the mound, and we're just getting some timely hitting. And hopefully today, we scratch out enough runs here and there. And Joel's going to start the first one for us. He's done a nice job this last 2 weeks. Actually, got into the starting rotation now that Matt's, shoulder's a little cranky. So we're looking for a good effort out of Joel. He's one of our 19-year-olds, and I'm looking for him to step up big.
And when you guys played LaMoure 2 nights ago, that was a game where LaMoure had the early lead, and twice Nathan Erbstosser was in a bit of a jam, bases loaded, nobody out in the second and third innings. A wild pitch brought in a run each of those 2 innings, but worked through it. The defense helped out, got a little bit of everything, and then you got that bottom of the fifth, and you're still down 2-0, and you just know all you have to do is put together one good inning, and that's what you did. You scored 5 runs, got the win.
I think that was our experience from last year. We've got 11 guys that, were a part of last year's team, and, they don't get rattled. We've fallen behind at times this year, and, we just don't get rattled. We'll find a way to come back, with the only way we lose is if we run out of innings, we feel.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Mark Frost, Coach Hope-Finley.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting team on the scoreboard. The Hope-Finley Legion, a record of 41-7 on the year. Batting first, the shortstop, Brady Burchell. Batting second, be the third baseman, Matt Powell. Number 3 hitter is a pitcher, Joel Mitchell. Cleanup hitter be the left fielder, Jeff Hashbarger. Batting fifth at first base is Brandon Kruger. Hitting sixth will be the second baseman, Ben Parkman. The right fielder, Nathan Erbstosser, will hit seventh. Batting eighth, the catcher, Sean Elsner. And hitting ninth in center field, Jason Severson. Hope-Finley's coached by Mark Frost. Here's a lineup for the home team on the scoreboard. LaMoure, also at their home field here at Townsend Field in LaMoure. 36-12 is their record. Batting first, the center fielder, Dana Sandus. Batting second will be the shortstop, Jordan Everett. Hitting third, the pitcher, Casey Lohman. Batting cleanup would be the left fielder, Mark Potts. Hitting fifth at third base, Tyler Peterson. Batting sixth will be the first baseman, Travis Van Dyke. He'll be followed by Trent Van Dyke, the right fielder who bats seventh. Hitting eighth at second base, Jared Miedema. And batting ninth will be the catcher, Jonas Van Enck. LaMoure is coached by J.R. Thielges, assisted by Heath Schaefer, and the bat boy is Tyler Thielges. Hope-Finley also has a couple of little bat boys out there as well. Hashbarger and Skylar Neva, I think, is one of them. They are introducing the non-starters for LaMoure. Then they will introduce the starters for LaMoure. They've already introduced Hope-Finley. We'll come back with more in 1 minute. They are just about finished with the introductions of the players and coaches of both teams. Then we'll have the Legion Code of Conduct. And we'll also have the national anthem coming up here. The Code of Sportsmanship here before we get to the national anthem. These two teams met 2 nights ago. And LaMoure had the 2-0 lead. Hope-Finley scored 5 in the bottom of the fifth and ended up winning it 5-2. So these teams will meet today for the second time. And if Hope-Finley wins, they repeat as the state champs. If LaMoure wins, we play again today at about 4:30. So all the introductions have been taken care of. We're going to have the singing in the national anthem. We'll get ready for the top of the first inning for the state championship on KMAV and KQLX in 2 minutes. On the mound, warming up for LaMoure, is Casey Lohman. He pitched a couple of times earlier in this tournament, once as a starter and once in relief on day 2. So he has all of his innings available, all 12. Of course, you get 12 innings in 3 days. So Casey Lohman, 2 appearances on the mound in the tournament, a record of 1-0 here at State. 7 2/3 innings on the mound, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, an ERA of 2.74. 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and 1 save. So he has 1 win and 1 save here at the state tournament. In the top of the first inning, Hope-Finley will bring up Brady Burchell, Matt Powell, and Joel Mitchell. more warm-up throws here for Casey Lohman. Defensively for LaMoure, they'll have Jonas Van Enck catching, Travis Van Dyke at first base, Jared Miedema is at second, Tyler Peterson at third, Jordan Everett the shortstop. Outfield left to right, Mark Potts, Dana Sandus, and Trent Van Dyke. A couple more tosses here, and then we'll be ready for the top of the first inning. Hope-Finley 4-0 in the tournament. LaMoure 3-1. Their one loss was to Hope-Finley 2 nights ago. There's a 5-2 ball game. Hope-Finley getting the win. Trailing 2-0, scoring 5 in the bottom of the fifth, and hanging on for the win back on Friday. So Hope-Finley with 1 win today would repeat as the State Class B Legion Baseball champions. And LaMoure, with a victory, would force the second game, which would then determine the state championship. I recognize 2 of the umpires. B.J. Knoll will be the home plate umpire, and Tom Perius is on the first base side. So the shortstop, Brady Burchell, leads off in the top of the first. Burchell hitting .364 in the tournament, 4 hits and 11 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 1 double, 2 walks, once was hit by a pitch, and he is 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts. Wind in the pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. As we're underway, 1-0 the count. And the pitch. Taking for a strike, 1-1 now to Brady Burchell. One. Down low. Burchell thought about going after it. 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Matt Powell. Swinging a foul straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is actually the first game in the state tournament that Hope-Finley is not the home team on the scoreboard. They had won the first 4 coin flips, and today lost the coin flip, LaMoure being the home team on their home diamond. Pitch inside, 3-2 now to leadoff batter, Brady Burchell. Lohman takes a look, now he's ready, 3-2 pitch. High chop, nice leaping grab by Lohman, throw to first for the out. 1-3 on the put out. It was a high chop that should have got over the mound, probably playable by the shortstop Everett. And Lohman stopped it himself, got the throw to first in time. So 1 out and nobody out for Hope-Finley. That'll bring up Matt Paul. He's hitting .231 in the state tournament. 3 for 13 at the plate, 2 runs scored. 2 strikeouts, 1 sacrifice as he takes a strike on the inside corner. Coming into this ballgame, Hope-Finley hitting .260 in the tournament. That one off the end of the bat, off the top of the glove of Lohman as he jumped for it again. He'll throw to first as he picks it up off the ground, gets the throw in time, 1-3 on the play. 2 straight outs on 1-3 putouts. That'll bring up the pitcher, Joel Mitchell. He's hitting .333 in the tournament, 3 hits in 9 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 2 runs batted in, 1 triple, 2 walks. 3 times he's been hit by a pitch, and he has 1 steal. First pitch, inside for ball 1. 2 out, nobody out for Hope-Finley here in the top of the first. The wind from Lohman in the pitch. Inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Joel Mitchell. Zach Neva on the first base side. Mark Frost coaching on the third base side. Pitches a strike in the inside corner. 2-1 to Joel Mitchell. Minute after 2, KMAV 105.5 FM and 1520 AM, Mayville, Portland, KQLX 106.1 FM, Lisbon. Pitch outside. 3-1 to Joel Mitchell. Lohman starts the wind. 3-1 to Mitchell. Low for ball 4. 2-out walk. here in the top of the first. Third time Mitchell has walked in the tournament. I'll bring up Jeff Hashbarger. He has a tournament average of 286. 4 for 14 at the plate. He has 5 runs batted in and 1 double. Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Hashbarger. No balls and 1 strike. Mitchell takes a short lead. Now extends the lead a little bit at first. 0-1. Low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeff Hashbarger. Bowman gets a sign from Van Enck. Now look to a first throw, not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Jeff Hashbarger. This one's popped up behind home plate. Van Enck running after it, and Lohman calls him off, makes the catch. Pitcher Lohman makes it about a foot from the fence in foul territory on the third base side. So Casey Lohman, the pitcher, involved with all 3 outs here in the top of the first. For Hope-Finley, no runs, no hits, no LaMoure errors, and 1 Hope-Finley runner left on base. Half inning of play on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. Hope-Finley nothing. LaMoure comes to bat in 90 seconds. We'll get ready for the bottom of the first inning. LaMoure will come to bat. They will bring up Dana Sandus, Jordan Everett, and Casey Lohman to face Joel Mitchell. Joel Mitchell with 1 appearance here at the state tournament. That was on day 1. Picked up the victory, pitched 6 in the 3rd innings, gave up 7 hits, 1 run. The run was earned, walked 3, struck out 6, a tournament earned run average of 1.11. Hope-Finley in this tournament with a combined pitching effort of an ERA of .72. Giving up only 5 runs, 3 earned. So Dana Sandus lead off. First pitch down the dirt. Ball 1. Goes back to the screen. Sandus with a .364 tournament average. 4 hits, 14 at-bats, 4 runs, 2 runs batted in, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, 2 steals. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Dana Sandus. No score here. Bottom of the first inning. State championship round at Townsend Field in LaMoure. Swing and a miss. Trying to reach after that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dana Sandus. Wind up from Mitchell. 1-2 offering. A little bit high. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dana Sandus. And that one's a bit high. So full count to the leadoff batter. On deck hitters Jordan Everett. Just outside for ball 4, and Dana Sandus draws a leadoff walk. He'll bring up the shortstop, Jordan Everett, hitting .231 here in LaMoure. 3 hits in 13 at-bats, 5 runs scored, 2 RBI, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, once was hit by a pitch, 1 sacrifice, and 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts. Pitch missed for a ball, throw to second, not in time. Birchall thought he had made the tag, but the throw was a little short, and he turned around, and whether he actually touched Sandus or not, hard to tell. So Sandus gets a steal, and that's his 3rd in the tournament. 1-0 the count to Jordan Everett. Outside. Mitchell's come close on a lot of pitches here, but a tight strike zone early on. 2-0. High chop, slow roller. Mitchell picks it up, throw to first in time. Moving to third is Dana Sandness. 1-3 on the put out, 1 out. And LaMoure with the runner at third and a chance to get on the board first. They'll bring up the pitcher, Casey Lohman. See what the strategy will be for LaMoure with the runner at third and 1 out. Lohman hitting .308 in the tournament, 4 for 13, 4 runs scored, 2 RBI, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 steals. First one's high, 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 for Mitchell. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Lohman. Low, 3-0. Mitchell walking around the mound right now. Gets the sign. 3-0 delivery. Inside for ball 4. Boy, a tight strike zone here. So Lohman will go down to first. Second walk given up by Mitchell. He's not missing by much. And now Coach Frost is going to come out to the mound to talk with Joel Mitchell. Catcher Sean Elsner out there as well, and the infielders will stay where they're at. This is just a discussion between head coach Mark Frost and the pitcher and catcher Joel Mitchell and Sean Elsner. Mitchell's walked 2 of the first 3 batters he's faced here in the bottom of the first inning. LaMoure will bring up Mark Potts, .235 in the state tournament, 4 hits in 17 at-bats, 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in, and he struck out 4 times. Coach Frost will head back to the dugout. So runners are at first and third and 1 out. Elsner will hang down the sign. Mitchell will look over to first. Checks the runner at third now. And the pitch. Line shot back to the mound. Throw to first. Double play. 1-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 LaMoure runners left. 1 complete on the Culligan Water of Hillsborough scoreboard. No score. No score as we go to the top of the second inning. Hope-Finley will bring up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Brandon Kruger, Ben Parkman, and Nathan Erbstasser, to face Casey Lohman. So no score through 1 in the state championship. Brandon Kruger to lead it off. Swinging a foul back, no balls and 1 strike. One strike to count to Kruger. Tournament average of .091. 1 for 11 at the plate. Grounded foul on the third base side. 0-2 to Kruger. 1 for 11 in the tournament. 2 runs scored. 3 strikeouts. Once was hit by a pitch. Two strikes to Kruger. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. First strikeout for Casey Lohman. And there's out number 1. They'll bring up the second baseman, Ben Parkman. .364 batting average in the tournament. 4 for 11 at the plate. 2 runs scored, 3 runs batted in, 2 doubles, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and has a stolen base. Strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Ben Parkman. One from Lohman. Line shot. Nice snag at third by Tyler Peterson as he takes one away from Ben Parkman. 2 out. Brings up the right fielder, Nathan Erbstasser. He has a team-high tournament batting average, .444. 4 for 9 at the plate. 1 run scored, 1 run batted in, 2 doubles, 1 strikeout, and 2 sacrifices. And he swings and misses at strike 1. So 2 out, nobody on for Hope-Finley here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss, 0-2 to Erbstasser. Lohman shakes off 3 signs here. Now he's ready. And Erbstasser calls time. Two strikes the count. And the pitch. It's high. 1-2 to Nathan Erbstasser. A line from Lohman. 1-2 pitch. High again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out and the bases are empty. In the top of the second. No score between Hope-Finley and LaMoure. 2-2 from Lohman. Called strike 3 in the inside corner. Down on strikes is Erbstasser. Second strikeout for Lohman, and Hope-Finley down in order. 1.5 on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. No score. We'll come back in 90 seconds. First pitch of ball, 1-0 the count to Tyler Peterson. Next one swung on and headed for shallow left. A long run, and Jeff Hashbarger, the diving catch for the out. And there's 1 out as he takes away a base hit opportunity for Tyler Peterson. Wind was blowing out to left earlier. Now it's almost blowing out to left center. I understand there is a severe thunderstorm watch for some areas around eastern North Dakota for tonight. 1 out, and Travis Van Dyke pitch outside, ball 1. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. 1 out single off the bat of Travis Van Dyke. So that will improve his average in the tournament as he's now 6 for 12, hitting .500 in the tournament. Brings up Trent Van Dyke, hitting .545, 6 for 11, 4 runs scored, 3 RBI, 2 doubles. Has walked and struck out 3 times each, and 1 steal for Trent Van Dyke. Winning pitcher yesterday against Rolette County. Pitch high for a ball, 1-0 the count to Trent Van Dyke. Long look down at Elsner. Now check the runner at first by Mitchell on the pitch. This one is popped to shallow left and a long run. Another diving catch by Jeff Hashbarger. This time it was the other direction rather than towards center field. This one down the line. He had to dive for it again. That one looked like it was going to fall in for a hit. So 2 gone on a couple of nice plays by the left fielder, Jeff Hashbarger. And a runner at first, Jared Miedema will step in. 0 for 7 in the tournament. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Look to first by Mitchell. 1-0. This one is headed for shallow right. Parkman backs up. He's able to get it off the hop and the throw to Kruger in time. 4-3 on the putout. For LaMoure in the bottom of the second, no runs, 1 hit, no Hope-Finley errors, 1 LaMoure runner left. 2 complete on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. No score. We're back in 90 seconds. 0-1 to Sean Elsner, and on the next pitch he pops one up and making a catch, the pitcher Casey Lohman for the out. So 1 gone on 2 pitches. Brings up the center fielder, Jason Severson. Severson 0 for 5 in the tournament at the plate. 3 strikeouts, 1 sacrifice, 1 run batted in. Grounded to the pitcher, and they throw to first in time. 1-3 on the putout. 2 gone. We'll go to the top of the order, and Brady Burchell will step in. Burchell's 0 for 1, grounded out in the first inning. Now 4 for 12, 333 average in the tournament. Takes a strike, going 1. No score here between Hope-Finley and LaMoure in the championship round of the State Class B American Legion Baseball Tournament from LaMoure. Next one's outside, 1-1. Hope-Finley is a win away from repeating as the state champions. LaMoure 2 wins away. They'd have to beat Hope-Finley, and then they would play again, and LaMoure would have to win it again. 2-1 now to Brady Burchell. Time call. Birchall will step out. Outside, 3-1 now to Brady Birchall. 2 out and the base is empty for Hope-Finley here in the top of the third. Lohman's 3-1. High chop over the mound, up the middle for a base hit. And that's the first Hope-Finley hit of the ball game. It comes with 2 out in the top of the third. Only the second Hope-Finley base runner. And that breaks a string of 6 straight batters retired. Brings up Matt Paul 0 for 1 with a ground out. Now 3 for 14 at the plate. Look to first by Lohman. And the pitch on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Lohman checks with the catcher, Jonas Banning. And a throw to first. Birchall's back in. And Lohman will now tuck in his top. No balls and a strike to Matt Powell. Pitch is high, 1-1. 2 out and a runner at first for Hope-Finley. Still no score in the top of the third. Throw to first, not in time. One ball and 1 strike. Swinging a foul, 1-2 to Matt Powell. Ball and 2 strikes. 2 out. Now Van Enck crouches back down, gets the side out to Lohman. And time called as Powell steps out, taking too much time out there on the hill. One-two pitch. High and tight. Powell gets out of the way. 2-2 now to Matt Powell. Giving a reach on base. Joel Mitchell is on deck. Throw to first, and Birchall, no throw to first. Fake the throw to first, and then the throw to second. And Birchall was in safely. Oh, I think they called a balk is what happened. Because Birchall got tagged up, but he's at second anyway. I think they called a balk is what happened. He took off as the fake went to first, and then the throw to second. They would have had him, but he's at second now. Powell swings and misses at a high fastball. So the inning is over anyway. Third strikeout for Casey Lohman. Hope-Finley comes up with no runs on 1 hit, no LaMoure errors, and 1 Hope-Finley runner left. 2.5. The score is Hope-Finley nothing, LaMoure nothing. We'll come back in 1 minute on KMAV and KQLX. Still no score. We go to the bottom of the third inning. LaMoure will bring up the 9 1-2 hitters. Jonas Van Enck, Dana Sandus, and Jordan Everett to face Joel Mitchell. Mitchell's given up 1 hit, walked 2, no strikeouts through 2 innings. Jonas Van Enck to lead it off, hitting 182, 2 hits in 11 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI, 1 home run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Trying to check the swing, went around, 1 strike. No balls and 1 strike to Jonas Van Enck. The wind and the pitch. High. Evens it up at 1-1. 1-1. On the outside edge, 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jonas Van Enck. Ground ball foul on the third base side. Still a 1-2 count. On deck hitter is Dana Sandus. one, pop foul, and it's going to get out of play. Still a 1-2 count. Breeze out toward left center now. 320 to left, 360 to center, 310 to right. Biggest part of the park unmarked in left center, probably around 400. Swing and a miss on a curveball down on strikes. It's Jonas Van Eyck. First strikeout for Joel Mitchell. One out, and we'll go to the top of the order. Dana Sandness will bat. Walked and stole a base, was stranded at third in the first inning. 4 for 14 in the tournament. First one's inside. 1-0 to Dana Sandness. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now. Now Sean Elsner will walk halfway to the mound and meet up with Joel Mitchell to talk for a moment. Elsner now head back behind the plate. One and one to Dana Sandness. One out and nobody on. Strike in the outside corner. That one down at the knees. 1-2 to Sandness. On deck hitters Jordan Everett. Blowing away, 2-2 the count. Both teams have had their base runners, but still no score here in the bottom of the third inning. Swing and a miss. Elsner makes the tag on him. Now he'll throw down to first as the ball wasn't in the glove when he went to tag him. So it's a strikeout, then a 2-3 on the putout. Second strikeout for Joel Mitchell. He struck out back-to-back batters. 2 out, and Jordan Everett will step in. 5 for 14 in the tournament. 0 for 1 today with a ground out. That one catches the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Looks like here in the third, Mitchell's found his control a little bit more. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. Somehow Mitchell's getting the batters here in the third to fish after one that's way down low. It's working so far. Called strike 3 down at the knees. 3 pitches for a strikeout there, and he strikes out the side here in the third. 3 complete on the Culligan Water of Hillsborough scoreboard. Still no score. We're back in 90 seconds. Top of the fourth inning, first pitch of Joel Mitchell, line down the left field line, rolling into the corner, and Mitchell sliding in safely at second base. A leadoff double for Joel Mitchell here in the top of the fourth. So Hope-Finley, the chance to get the lead here. No score. Here in the top of the fourth, the runner at second, nobody out for Jeff Hashbarger. 0 for 1, fouled out in the first inning. This one's popped up behind the plate. The catcher, Van Eyck, makes the catch. 1 out. So they'll bring up the first baseman, Brandon Kruger. Kruger 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 for 12 in the tournament. An .083 batting average. Trying to break out of a little bit of a slump. Has reached on base a couple times in this tournament. Big strike in the inside corner, 0-1. So runner at second, 1 out for Hope-Finley here in the top of the fourth with no score here in the state championship. Deep fly ball, right center field. This one to the gap, and it's all the way, but one hops the wall. Mitchell scores, and in at second with an RBI double is Brandon Kruger. That's a good time to kind of break out of a slump a little bit. Brandon Kruger with a double that short hops the wall in right center. And Joel Mitchell coming in to score 1-0 Hope-Finley here in the top of the fourth. I'll bring up the second baseman, Ben Parkman. Parkman 0 for 1, lined one of the third baseman, Tyler Peterson. Here's a ground ball to the mound, checking the runner at second, throw to first in time. Kruger has to stay at second base. 1-3 to retire Ben Parkman for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up the right fielder, Nathan Erbstasser. 0 for 1, struck out in the second. Erbstasser 4 for 10, 400 average here in LaMoure. Swinging a foul back behind the plate. Van Eyck is going to run after it, but this one is going to get out of play, going to run out of room. No balls and 1 strike to count to Nathan Erbstasser. Lohman walking back up the hill. Oh, 1 count, check of the runner. And the pitch. On the outside edge, 0-2 to Nathan Erbstasser. Two strikes the count. Fouled straight back, still an 0-2 count to Nathan Erbstasser. Brandon Kruger at second after hitting an RBI double scored Joel Mitchell. 2 out here in the top of the 4th. It's outside. 1-2 to count to Erbstasser. One, 2 from Lohman. Low, 2-2 the count. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage on both KMAV and KQLX all 5 days of the State Class B Legion Baseball Tournament. 2-2 pitch. Line shot, right center. It's going to fall in for a hit. Kruger around third. The throw coming in from Sanders cut off, and Kruger will score. And Nathan Erbstasser has delivered once again an RBI single, and it's 2-0 Hope-Finley. Erbstasser's had a very fine state tournament. So an RBI single off the bat of Nathan Erbstasser, and it's 2-0 Hope-Finley with a runner at first, 2 out. I'll bring up the catcher, Sean Elsner, 0 for 1, popped one up back to the mound in his first trip to the plate. Elsner 1 for 9, hitting 111 here in LaMoure. Throw to first, and they got Erbstasser at first base. So the pickoff play, 1-3, as they will get Nathan Erbstasser at first to retire Hope-Finley. Hope-Finley scores 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no LaMoure errors and no Hope-Finley runners left. We're halfway through this one, 3.5. The score on the Culligan Water of Hillsborough scoreboard. Hope-Finley 2, LaMoure nothing. Back in 1 minute on KMAV and KQLX. 2-0 Hope-Finley with the lead over LaMoure through the first 3.5 innings. Hope-Finley putting 2 runs up on the board in the top of the 4th. Both runs earned, charged to Casey Lohman. And now LaMoure will come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. They will bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Casey Lohman, Mark Potts, and Tyler Peterson facing Joel Mitchell. So Casey Lohman will lead it off. He walked in the first. He's walked 5 times in this tournament, struck out 6 times. Pitches a strike. 0-1 to Lohman. Fouled back. 0-2 to Lohman. 4 for 13 at the plate. Hitting .308. Oh, 2 for Mitchell. Chopped over to third. Powell has it. He'll throw to first. 1 out. 5-3 on the play. They'll bring up the left fielder, Mark Potts. Potts 0 for 1, line into a double play in the bottom of the first inning. So he's now 4 for 18 at the plate, which I guess would be a .222 average. At the letters for strike 1, 0-1 the count to Mark Potts. Wind up, and the 0-1. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch from Joel Mitchell. Got Potts to swing a little bit early. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes is Mark Potts. 4th strikeout for Joel Mitchell. 2 down. That'll bring up the third baseman, Tyler Peterson. Peterson 0 for 1, a fly out to left. 5 for 14 now in the state tournament. Fly ball down the right field line, and this one's a fair ball. Picked up by Erbstasser in right, and Tyler Peterson has a 2-out single to the opposite field. So Travis Van Dyke will step in, 1 for 1 with a single. Hitting .500 now, 6 for 12 for Tyler Peters, or rather for Travis Van Dyke. 6 for 12 at the plate. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike to Travis Van Dyke. Wind blowing out toward left center right now. Mitchell's 1-1. And that one catches the inside corner for a strike. 1 and 2 to Travis Van Dyke. 2 out, runner on for LaMoure here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Hope-Finley in the state championship. And off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Joel Mitchell. And those 5 strikeouts have come in the last 2 innings. Did not strike out a batter in the first or second. 4 complete. First out for LaMoure, no runs, 1 hit, no Hope-Finley errors, 1 LaMoure runner left. 4 complete on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. 2-0 Hope-Finley. We're back in a minute. 2-0 Hope-Finley with the lead. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and Hope-Finley will bring up the 8-9 and 1-hitters. Sean Elsner, Jason Severson, and Brady Birchall. Facing Casey Lohman. Sean Elsner 0 for 1, pitch high, ball 1. Elsner was to come to bat in the last inning, and then Nathan Erbstasser picked up. Here's a pop, short pop over to third, caught by Tyler Peterson. 1 away. That'll bring up the center fielder, Jason Severson, 0 for 1, a ground out back to the mound. 0 for 6 in the tournament for Severson, with a run batted in on a sac fly back on day 1. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Lohman has given up 4 hits, 2 runs, both are in, walked 1 and struck out 3, now through 4 1/3 innings. Now it's on the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jason Severson. One. There's a fly ball, shallow center. Coming in is Dana Sandus. Now underneath, makes the catch for the out, 2 out. Brady Birchall will step in, 1 for 2, grounded out, single. 5 for 13 at the plate for Brady Birchall. Line from Lohman in the pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes to Brady Birchall. And the pitch. There's a bunt third base side. Lohman picks it up, throw to first, and Birchall safe. Infield bunt single. So he tries to bunt on with 2 out, and it's successful. So he's now 2 for 3 in the ball game with a bunt single. Brings up Matt Powell, 0 for 2, grounded out, struck out. Hitting .200 in the tournament, 3 for 15 at the plate. There goes the runner. Ground ball over to short. Everett with the throw to Travis Van Dyke at first for the out. 6-3 on the foot out. And for Hope-Finley, they come up with no runs on 1 hit. There are no LaMoure errors and 1 Hope-Finley runner left on base. 4.5 the score is Hope-Finley 2, LaMoure nothing. 2-0 Hope-Finley with the lead. LaMoure will bat in the bottom of the 5th. They will bring up the bottom third of the order. Trent Van Dyke, Jared Miedema, and Jonas Van Enck to face Joel Mitchell. On the inside corner for a strike, 0-1 to Trent Van Dyke. He's 0 for 1, flew out to left in the second. There's a strike. 0-2 the count. Mitchell winds, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Elsner's got to pick up the ball, throw down to first, in time by a step. 6 strikeouts for Joel Mitchell, and 2-3 on the throw down to first base. Mitchell did not strike out a batter in the first 2 innings, and then in the third, fourth, and fifth, he has struck out 6 batters out of a possible 7 outs. Brings up Jared Miedema. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Swing and a miss. 1 strike to count to Jared Miedema. Mitchell's doing a nice job changing speeds and using the curveball to his advantage, keeping the pitches down low and in the strike zone. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count to Jared Miedema. He's looking for his first hit of the tournament, 0 for 8 at the plate. Mitchell gets a sign, and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Elser's got to run this one down, too. Throw to first, a high one, and Kruger's off the bag. So Miedema will be in at first base. 7th strikeout for Joel Mitchell. And Miedema down at first, so 1 on, 1 out. Brings up Jonas Van Enck. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 2 for 12, 167 at the plate in the tournament. Striking the outside corner, 0-1. No balls and a strike to count to Jonas Van Enck. That one's inside, 1-1. Dana Sandus, the on-deck hitter for LaMoure. Strike on the inside corner, 1-2 to Jonas Van Enck. 1 on, 1 on here in the bottom of the 5th. Hope-Finley 2, LaMoure nothing. State championship round at Townsend Field in LaMoure. Ground ball to short. Burchell from his knees throws to second. Parkman with a relay to first, not in time, beat out by Jonas Van Enck. 6-4 to force out Miedema at second. And they get Jonas Van Enck on safely with a fielder's choice. So 2 out and a runner at first base. Set by Joel Mitchell in the pitch. There's a pop into shallow center. Long run here for Severson. Comes in, makes the catch. For LaMoure, no runs, no hits, no Hope-Finley errors, and 1 LaMoure runner left on base. 5 innings on the Culligan Water Hillsboro scoreboard. Hope-Finley 2, LaMoure nothing. We'll go to the top of the 6th inning. Hope-Finley had come to bat leading LaMoure by a score of 2-0. And Hope-Finley will bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Joel Mitchell, Jeff Hashbarger, and Brandon Kruger. Face Casey Lohman, who's done a nice job on the mound. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Walked 1 and struck out 3. Hope-Finley managed to score 2 in the top of the 4th with 3 base hits, but outside of that, Lohman has pretty much shut Hope-Finley down for the most part. Joel Mitchell steps in, 1 for 1. Pitch down low, ball 1. Mitchell walked, doubled, and scored a run. Hitting .400 in the tournament, 4 for 10 at the plate for Joel Mitchell. There's a curveball on the outside edge. 1-1 the count to Joel Mitchell. It's inside, 2-1 now to Mitchell. On-deck hitters Jeff Hashbarger. 2-1 from Lohman. Fly ball, center field. Sandus moving over, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Congratulations to our Pizza Shop coupon winner, Barbara Rigg. Barbara Rigg was our Pizza Shop coupon winner. One away here in the top of the sixth. The left fielder, Jeff Hashbarger, will step in. He's 0 for 2, fouled out twice. Hitting .250, 4 for 16 at the plate here in LaMoure. First pitch, a strike. 0-1. Brady Burchell warming up right now down the left field line. Well, the strategy was he would be in as a relief pitcher if they had the lead in about the 6th or 7th inning. 2 strikes now to Jeff Hashbarger. And the 0-2. Low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jeff Hashbarger. Brandon Kruger on deck for Hope-Finley. Lohman starts up the line. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, headed to right field. Trent Van Dyke waits for it, makes the catch for the out. 2 out on a couple of flyouts. That'll bring up the first baseman, Brandon Kruger. Kruger is 1 for 2. He struck out, doubled. Has a run scored and a run banded in on an RBI double in the 4th. Now 2 for 13 in the tournament. Pitch out of the way, fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. 2 out and the bases are empty in the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Hope-Finley with the lead over LaMoure in the state championship. On the outside corner for a strike, 0-2 to Brandon Kruger. Oh-2 pitch. Down the right field line, foul territory, and won't come up with it. Didn't hang up in the air long enough. So it's still an 0-2 count to Brandon Kruger. And if he can get on base safely, the on-deck hitter for Hope-Finley is Ben Parkman. Oh, 2 again. Ground ball, and the second baseman, Miedema, can't come up with it as he dove to try to save it. Kruger would have got that one through had Miedema not dove for it, so I'm going to give him a hit. 2-out single for Kruger. And they give an error, but I'm not so sure they would have been able to get the out. It's a tough play to make. Give Kruger a single. Ben Parkman will come up. He's 0 for 2, a liner to third and a ground out. There goes the runner. Fly ball, shallow right. This one falling fast, and it's going to be in there for a hit. Kruger doesn't stop. He's on his way to third. The throw in time for the out. 9-5. Trent Van Dyke to Tyler Peterson as they cut down Brandon Kruger down at third base. Ben Parkman will get credit for a single. And then a 9-5 put out to get Brandon Kruger at third for the final out. So here in the top of the 6th for Hope-Finley, no runs, 2 hits. There were no more errors, and 1 Hope-Finley runner left. 5.5, it's 2-0 Hope-Finley. Well, as you may have guessed, after Brady Burchell was warming up in the last half inning, he is our new pitcher. The pitcher and shortstop switch around. Joel Mitchell now at short, Brady Burchell on the mound. Let's take a look at the numbers for Brady Burchell earlier in this tournament. 2 appearances on the mound, a record of 1-0, and has 1 save. 8 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, an ERA of in the tournament of 0. 1 walk and 11 strikeouts. 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Jordan Everett, Casey Lohman, and Mark Potts will bat for LaMoure in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Hope-Finley. First pitch high, 1 ball, and no strikes a count to Jordan Everett. High chop towards second. Parkman gets off the second hop. Throw to Kruger at first in time. 4-3 on the play. 1 out. They'll bring up the pitcher, Casey Lohman. 0 for 1. Walked and grounded out. Taking a look at Brady Burchell's numbers on the year, including the tournament, he is now 9-0 with 2 saves. A 1.79 ERA when you count the state tournament along with the rest of the year. And an ERA of 0 here at state. First pitch, a strike to Lohman. Next one on the way. Swing and a miss, 0-2 to Lohman. Elsner hangs a sign, the wind, the 0-2 from Burchell. Called strike 3 in the inside corner. And there's strikeout number 1 for Brady Burchell. 2 out, Mark Potts will step in. 0 for 2, he lined into a double play in the first, struck out in the 4th inning. So Hope-Finley now potentially 4 outs away from recapturing the state championship. They are the defending Class B American Legion Baseball state champions, winning last year in Bottineau. That pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Mark Potts. 0 for 2 on the day, 4 for 19 in the tournament. That misses outside. 2-0 now to Mark Potts. 2 out, nobody on for LaMoure in the bottom of the 6th. Fouled straight back, 2-1 to Mark Potts. Minute after 3, you're listening to KMAV 105.5 FM and 1520 AM Mayville, Portland, and KQLX 106.1 FM Lisbon. Swing and a miss, 2-2 the Couch, Mark Potts. And, of course, online, KMAV.com up in Mayville, KQLX.com in Lisbon. Ground ball back to the mound. Burchell has it. Throw to Kruger at first. 1-2-3 inning. 6 complete on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. Hope-Finley 2, LaMoure nothing. Well, we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Hope-Finley up to bat. They bring up the bottom third of the order. Nathan Erbstasser, Sean Elsner, and Jason Severson to face Casey Lohman. And Erbstasser follows this one on the first base side, and it is out of play. No balls and 1 strike to count to Nathan Erbstasser. 1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the 4th. 5 for 11 in the tournament. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count to Nathan Erbstasser. Casey Lohman's pitched well in this one, giving up 2 runs in the 4th inning, and that's been it. Line shot left center, and that one's going to fall in for a hit. Erbstasser has had a hot state tournament at the plate. 2 for 3 in the ball game. And now 6 for 12, hitting .500. Erbstasser has the team high in batting average in the state tournament. After hitting in the low to mid 200s in the regular season, he has turned it around in the state tournament. Sean Elsner steps in, takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. Elsner popped down a couple of times, once back to the mound, once to third base. And the 0-1. Down the third base line, foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Sean Elsner. LaMoure trying to see if they can get out of this half inning without giving up a run. And then it would be their object to score at least 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, 2 to go at extra innings, 3 to win. Hope-Finley potentially 3 outs away in the bottom of the 7th from repeating as state champs. Popped up. Shortstop Everett underneath it makes the catch, 1 out. I'll bring up the center fielder, Jason Severson. Severson 0 for 2, grounded out, flew out. Looking for his first hit in the tournament, 0 for 7 at the plate. 1 run batted in on a sacrifice fly back on Wednesday and day 1 of the tournament. There goes the runner, and it's fouled back. No balls and 1 strike to Jason Severson. So Nathan Erbstasser is off with a pitch going back to first base. 1 on, 1 out for Hope-Finley. 0-1 the count to Severson, and Brady Burchell on deck for Hope-Finley here in the top of the 7th. Lohman taking a long look down at Vanning. Now gets the sign. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third. Picked up by Peterson. Throw to second for 1. Relay down to first. Nope, there won't be a relay. The ball, I think, hit Erbstasser and couldn't get the throw down to first. They get the out at second. 5-4 on the force. Severson reaches on a fielder's choice, and will go to the top of the order, and Brady Burchell. 2 for 3, grounded out, singled, and had a bunt single. Six for 14 at the plate for Brady Burchell. He takes a strike on the inside corner. Top of the 7th, 2-0 Hope-Finley. That one's inside. 1-1 now to Burchell. And the 1-1. That's high. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brady Burchell. It's been a fantastic state tournament. Very competitive throughout. 2-1. High, 3-1. These two teams are showing it right here today. 2-0 Hope-Finley. It's been a close one. Hope-Finley getting 2 runs in the top of the 4th. That has been the difference, the only difference in this one. Fly ball to center. Sandus backs up, still back. Up, it's over his head and all the way out to the wall. Rounding third is Severson. Burchell's on his way to third, and he's going to be in with an RBI triple. The wind kept pushing that one back and back over Sandus. An RBI triple for Brady Burchell. It's 3-0. Hope-Finley with the lead, and they have the runner at third and 2 out. And Burchell's now 3 for 4 in the ball game. Second Hope-Finley triple of the tournament. Joel Mitchell has the other one. And now Brady Burchell with a triple at third base as he scores Jason Severson from first. That'll bring up Matt Powell. And he'll take a strike of the letters, 0-1. Powell is 0 for 3. Grounded out, struck out, and then grounded out. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Lohman waits for it, makes the catch, and that will retire Hope-Finley here in the top of the 7th, but they get 1 insurance run. 1 run on 1 hit. Make that 2 hits. There were no LaMoure errors. 1 Hope-Finley runner left. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th on the Colling and Water of Hillsborough scoreboard. Hope-Finley 3, LaMoure nothing. Back in 1 minute on KMAV and KQLX. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Hope-Finley leads LaMoure 3-0. And the Hope-Finley Wolverines are 3 outs away from repeating as State Class B Legion champions. Brady Burchell throwing a few tosses here before we start the bottom of the 7th. LaMoure will have Tyler Peterson, Travis Van Dyke, and Trent Van Dyke, 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order, come up to face Brady Burchell. Burchell started the 6th inning in relief of Joel Mitchell, and he is 3 outs away from a save. Burchell with 1 win and 1 save in this tournament. Mitchell with a win already in this tournament. Mitchell will be in line for the win. Burchell for the save. First pitch out of the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 the count to Tyler Peterson. 3-0 Hope-Finley, bottom of 7. Hope-Finley with a win would repeat as state champs. LaMoure, if they can come back, we'd play again. This one hit the third. Throw across from Powell in time. 5-3 on the putout. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up the first baseman, Travis Van Dyke. 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Batting average of nearly 500 in the tournament, 6 for 13 at the plate. Takes first one low, 1 ball and no strikes. Brady Burchell, 4 batters faced in relief, 4 retired. One 0 delivery. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis Van Dyke steps back in. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. On deck hitters Trent Van Dyke. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Out on strikes, Travis Van Dyke. Second strikeout for Brady Burchell. 2 out. 5 up, 5 down since Burchell's been on the mound, and Hope-Finley is 1 out away from repeating as the state Class B American Legion champions. Trent Van Dyke will step in. He's 0 for 2. Flew out, struck out. 6 for 13 at the plate here in this year's state tournament. First one's down low, 1 ball and no strikes. The wind-up and the pitch. High chop, slowly the mound. Burchell has it. Throw to first, and that's it. Hope-Finley repeats as the state champions in Class B Legion baseball. They all pile up on the mound. We got guys jumping on top of the pile. Hope-Finley's done it. They repeat as the state champions. Winning it last year up in Bottineau, and they get the win here. against a very tough LaMoure team. Down in order goes LaMoure in the bottom of the 7th. Final score on the Culligan Water of Hillsboro scoreboard. Hope-Finley 3, LaMoure nothing. And we'll take a look at the numbers on KMAV and KQLX in 2 minutes. Well, the final in the championship round of the State Class B Legion Baseball Tournament. It wasn't, again, not a very easy win for Hope-Finley, and none of them were. That just shows you how good these teams really were in this state tournament. But Hope-Finley pulls through 3-0 over LaMoure. LaMoure ending the year second in the state, 36-13 record. Hope-Finley, the state champions for the second straight year, 42-7 their record, and 3-0 ending up being the final. Hope-Finley undefeated in this year's state tournament. And they are now going to hand the awards out to both LaMoure, the second place award, and state championship to Hope-Finley. Nice job by both of these teams. They both played very well here at the state tournament and entertained a lot of fans. No score through the first 3 innings. Then at the top of the 4th, Hope-Finley would get on the board. They would score 2 runs, and actually 1 would be all they would need. But Joel Mitchell would lead off the top of the 4th with a double. Then with 1 out, Brandon Kruger had an RBI double to score Mitchell. 2 out, and Nathan Erbstasser with an RBI single to score Brandon Kruger, and Hope-Finley led 2-0 after 3.5. Then in the top of the 7th, Hope-Finley would score 1 more. Nathan Erbstasser single. Then with 1 out, Jason Severson hit into a fielder's choice. Erbstasser out at second, so 1 on and 2 out. Brady Birchall with an RBI triple to score Jason Severson. And 3-0 Hope-Finley. That would end up being the final. Hope-Finley with 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. And for LaMoure, they had no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. We'll take a look at the pitching numbers here in 30 seconds. And they have just given out the tournament MVP award here. And it goes to Hope-Finley's Joel Mitchell, very deserving of the award. Joel Mitchell, the state tournament MVP for 2004. Picks up 2 wins here at the state tournament. And at the plate, hit well. Today he was 1 for 2. Finished the tournament 4 for 11 at the plate. Got 2 wins on the mound and had some amazing defensive stops playing it short. So Joel Mitchell, the tournament MVP here at the state tournament. Let's take a look at the pitching numbers here for Hope-Finley. The winner, Joel Mitchell, 5 innings, 2 hits, a 2-hitter for Joel Mitchell in 5 innings. Gave up no runs, walked 2, struck out 7 through a wild pitch. Brady Birchall gets the save, 2 innings, struck out 2, and nobody reached on. So a combined 2-hitter here. Joel Mitchell with the win, Brady Birchall the save. For LaMoure, the loss goes to Casey Lohman, but he pitched very well out there. Complete game, 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs. All 3 were earned runs. Lohman walked only 1, and he struck out 3 and had 1 block. So Joel Mitchell getting the win for Hope-Finley, Brady Birchall the save, and for LaMoure taking the loss, Casey Lohman. So 3-0, Hope-Finley with the win over LaMoure for the state championship, and Hope-Finley 5-0 in the state tournament. They are now 42-7 on the year. Hope-Finley will represent the state of North Dakota as far as Class B baseball at the National Class B tournament, which is kind of a regional tournament that includes several upper Midwest states, Wisconsin, South Dakota, Minnesota, and I think Nebraska or Kansas also in there. And Hope-Finley will represent North Dakota in that tournament starting on Thursday, this coming Thursday, August 12th, in Millbank, South Dakota. Hope-Finley, of course, winning the state championship last year, represented North Dakota in Baroka, Wisconsin last year, lost in 2 straight, but played 2 very close ball games. We'll come back with more here on the post-game report and take a look at our player of the game selections in 2 minutes. Player of the game selection, we'll go 3 different ways for Hope-Finley. Brady Birchall, Joel Mitchell, and Brandon Kruger. Brady Birchall gets the save on the mound. Faced 6 batters, retired all 6. 3 for 4 at the plate, 2 singles, including a bunt single. Also an RBI triple. Joel Mitchell, he got the win. 2 hits given up in 5 innings, did not give up a run. 1 for 2 at the plate, a walk, a double, and scored the winning run, if you will, as they needed 1 to win, and that was the run right there, Joel Mitchell's run. And Brandon Kruger at the plate, 2 for 3, had a double and a single, a run scored, a run batted in. And after Joel Mitchell reached on that double and there's 1 out, Kruger came up and he had that RBI double that got Hope-Finley on the board, kind of kick-started them, and helped them out to take the lead in the 4th inning, and they would hang on for the win. So Brady Burchell, Joel Mitchell, and Brandon Kruger for Hope-Finley. For LaMoure, I'd have to go with their pitcher, Casey Lohman. He pitched a good ball game, 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, walked 1, struck out 3, and had a balk. And the hits he gave up were pretty much spread out through the ball game. It's just that 4th inning where got into a little bit of trouble, gave up 3 hits, gave up a run in the 7th, but Casey Lohman pitched very well out there on the mound and had a very nice tournament for LaMoure. Again, the final in the State Class B Legion Baseball Championship, Hope-Finley over LaMoure, 3-0. Hope-Finley 42-7 on the year. They repeat as the State Class B Legion champs, and they will now play in a national tournament, kind of a regional tournament with several other upper Midwest states coming up in Millbank, South Dakota, starting on this Thursday. They would play in the final game of the day on Thursday at 8 p.m. So that is when Hope-Finley will play, coming up on Thursday. Just looking at some of the tournament numbers for Hope-Finley, they had some exceptional pitching. As a team, a team ERA of 0.58 in this tournament. Hope-Finley in 5 games giving up only 5 runs in 36 innings. 5 games, 4 of those games went 7 innings. 1 game they pitched 8 innings because it went into extra innings one night, so that would be why it was 36 innings. But a 0.58 ERA for Hope-Finley, giving up 5 runs, only 3 earned runs in 36 innings on the mound for the different Hope-Finley pitchers, and giving up only 20 hits in 36 innings. Very exceptional job by the pitching staff for Hope-Finley. Joel Mitchell, 2-0 record here at the state tournament. Pitched 11 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 1 run. The run was earned, an ERA of 0.62 for the tournament for Joel Mitchell. Walked 5, struck out 13, and had a wild pitch. Brady Burchell, 3 pitching appearances, 1-0 record, had 2 saves, 10 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts, had an ERA of 0 in the tournament. Nathan Erbstosser had 1 appearance, got a win, an ERA of 2 as he gave up 2 in 7 innings, 4 hits, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 3 wild pitches. And then Ben Parkman, who last night had a big win for Hope-Finley as he shut down Beulah. Didn't strike anyone out, but they were getting contact with the ball, and the defense was doing the job. Walked 3 batters, gave up only 2 hits in 7 innings, an ERA of 0 for the tournament for Ben Parkman. Hit 1 batter, so as a team, pitching-wise, what can you say? Couldn't expect much more out of that pitching staff. And then at the plate, Hope-Finley didn't get as many hits as they maybe got during the regular season, but when you get in the state tournament, you face some of these tougher teams, and that kind of showed here today and in the past few days. Well, here's kind of the road for Hope-Finley, how they got here. Back on day 1, they played Fairmont, the Section 1 champs. Hope-Finley won that game 3-1, although it really didn't come easy. A good pitching performance by the Fairmont pitcher back on day 1, Trevor Stiles, as he gave up 3 runs and 2 earned runs against Hope-Finley. Joel Mitchell got the win back on day 1, then Brady Burchell with the save. And Brady Burchell would pitch day 2 as Hope-Finley would win 3-2 over Rolette County. That game went 8 innings. Game was tied 1-1 at the end of 7. They went to the 8th inning, and in the top of the 8th, Rolette County would score a run. Hope-Finley in the bottom of the 8th, down a run, knew they needed to score. Matt Paul would reach on base on an error by the right fielder, a routine fly ball, and sometimes weird things like that happen, and Matt Paul all of a sudden at second base. That got the team fired up. Next thing you know, they get back-to-back hits from Joel Mitchell and Jeff Hashbarger, and Hope-Finley wins that one 3-2 in 8 innings. So then on Friday, Hope-Finley got to face LaMoure, Hope-Finley was down 2-0 as they had the bases loaded. LaMoure did. The bases loaded, nobody out in the second, and scored a run. And in the third inning, bases loaded, nobody out again, scored a run. And Hope-Finley was able to hold LaMoure to only 1 run in each of those 2 innings. And then in the bottom of the 5th, they started to get things to kind of come together, got a few hits, and put 5 runs on the board, won it 5-2. And then last night, Hope-Finley played Beulah in a game which, if Hope-Finley wins, Beulah's out of the tournament. If Beulah wins, Hope-Finley's still in the championship, and they kind of knew that going in. They throw Ben Parkman, and it turned out that they still got the win, and Ben Parkman with a 2-hitter. They picked up the win last night, 4-0 over Beulah, so they came into today knowing that they only needed 1 win, and the only way they were not going to become state champs again today is if they would have lost 2 in a row. And they get the win. Joel Mitchell pitching 5, Brady Burchell closing it out 3-0. Hope-Finley get the win over LaMoure. So Hope-Finley, the state champs last year's state champions, once again here in 2004. So that means the last 7 Class B state champs, 3 of those 7 have been won by Hope-Finley. 3-0, Hope-Finley with the win over LaMoure, so Hope-Finley didn't even have to worry about that second game. They got it done in 1, and they're the state champs once again, 42-7 on the year, and off to Millbank. So we have Coach Mark Frost with us here on the post-game report. Thanks for coming up once again.
Oh, you betcha, no problem. Once you track me down there, I'm getting a little busy with the fans.
Well, let's talk about this one here. Joel Mitchell on the mound gets things going, and they had a couple guys on base, thought maybe they'd take the early lead, and you're able to get out of the jam there, and all of a sudden 4th inning comes around, and Joel Mitchell gets on base. Brandon Kruger came up. He's kind of been on a little bit of a slump here in the tournament, and he comes up with a big hit, and you score your first run, and come out of that inning with 2 runs, and you have that lead, and you hang on.
That first inning was really big. Defensive-wise, Joel made the big play. He came up with a hard shot back from the cleanup hitter right at him, and we turned to double play because they had runners at first and third, and it was looking, you were correct, like they were going to take an early lead. Somehow, it looked like they were going to get a run in, but we held, and Joel kind of settled in. He started getting his curveball over very well. I mean, he threw that thing for 5 innings very well, and he spotted it inside, outside, and he just did a great job for us those first 5 innings. And like you said, the 4th inning led off with a double, and I normally bunt to get him over to third, but I thought I'd give Jeff 1 pitch to try and do something because Jeff's our cleanup hitter, and he's been just on a tear, the last 3 weeks. But he popped it up, so we had to go plan B. And you are right, Brandon's been struggling a little bit, and I'd even considered flip-flopping him and Ben in the order, but I stuck with him, and he just crushed that one. I thought it was actually going out, but dropped at the base of the fence, and we got Joel in, and then the next big hit was by Nathan. He with 2 outs. He was able to get that second run in. I mean, 1-run game is pretty nerve-wracking for both sides. I mean, it's, it doesn't take much to get 1 run sometimes. You get an error, the guy's at second, and a bunt and he's at third, or a pass ball, and before you know it, he's in. So, that second run was really big.
Yeah, I think we knew kind of going into the game, whoever got that first lead, they might be able to hang on for it. And, with the pitchers that were on the mound, it kind of had the makings of being maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1 ball game. It ended up being 3-0, but still, it might have been a little bit closer than that.
Exactly. And give Casey Lohman credit. He threw a heck of a game also. We didn't have very many hits. We just had them in that same inning. We had the 3 hits in the same inning to get the 2 runs. And Joel and Brady were able to, when they did get a hit, bear down and just get the next couple outs. And it was another good, championship ball game. A quick one. I think about 70 minutes.
Yep.
We're setting records, I guess, for time. We must be in a hurry. Get the umpires home or something. But it was good baseball, and all the fans on both sides, I think they were treated to 2 excellent teams, 2 very worthy, teams to defend or represent this team in Millbank now.
Oh, absolutely. Joel Mitchell in the first 2 innings had a little bit of trouble early on and kind of walked a couple of guys. And all of a sudden in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, he strikes out 7 guys altogether. And you can see that the guys are starting to chase pitches that were low and away, or, the curveball, it just catches them at the knees. And
he'll 99 times out of 100, he'll bring the game home for a win.
In this tournament, you had 36 innings of pitching, and that was only because you had that 8-inning game back a few days ago. So 36 innings, 5 runs, 3 earned, an ERA of 0.58. Unbelievable for a state tournament.
It was. I mean, we were just able to shut teams down. You know, our pitching, I can't say enough about all the guys that threw. You know, they did the job this week. They knew they had a goal, and, you know, it's been since early June when we, you know, looked back in last year's state booklet, and we saw that Sawyer-Surrey was the last team to repeat. And we know how hard it is just to get back a second time. You know, Thompson had a tremendous team last year, but they, you know, weren't able to get through our section. So we were, first of all, just glad to get through our section. It's a, you know, we feel that's very hard to do. And, you know, once our teams from our section get here, we feel we stand a good chance of getting to Sunday and doing, you know, taking care of business.
And it turned out you needed the pitching and the defense that you had in this tournament, because hitting-wise, you didn't score as many runs, but you scored just enough. Even looking at last year up in Botno at the state tournament, you had at least one game where you scored like 10 runs.
Yeah.
And this time around, you just didn't do that. You score 5 against LaMoure the other night, and you scored 4 last night, 3 today, and the other 2 times you scored 3 runs. So you finished the tournament with 18 runs, and you managed to win the whole thing, and you go undefeated.
Yeah, five wins with 18 runs. But the big thing, again, was our pitching and our defense. We just, you know, I was talking to some of the parents. You know, I feel, as a hitter, you feel kind of frustrated because, you know, you think you got to hit into the hole, and here's Joel Mitchell picking the ball up and throwing you out, or something up the middle, and he's there again, or you hit a hard shot towards second, and Ben Parkman knocks it down and makes a play. I mean, it's frustrating. And, you know, last night we had Brady in center, and he was chasing down everything the Beulah hitters were hitting. So, you know, it's just, what can I say? It's just, you know, good baseball, and that's kind of the way we had to win this year.
You kind of had the experience from last year where going this time around, you know that you can't hit a 5-run home run or anything like that, and you just got to go one batter at a time and get guys on base, and that's usually what happened when you scored runs. You score them in 1 inning or 2 innings, and that's it.
Exactly. We know it's tournament time. I mean, you're going to have to lay down bunts. You're going to have to hit and run, maybe steal a base here and there just to manufacture runs, get a fly ball somewhere. And you know, I was a little hesitant to bunt today because Casey Lohman's so quick on the mound. I was afraid we were going to turn double plays if we did try and bunt. So I didn't really try and bunt today. I was looking to be a little more aggressive, use the hit and run, and we did use it. It worked the one time. It's just that Brandon got thrown out at third. It looked like we were going to have a nice second and third, but their outfielder made a nice throw. So, you know, sometimes when the offense isn't, you know, home runs and such, we just have to manufacture. And once we got 2, and that third one was a big one too. I think that not only gave us a boost, but I think it kind of, you know, they saw that, oh boy, we're going to have a hard time getting 3 off of Brady because he's tough.
Yeah, they knew in that 6th inning going down in order that, you know, what are the odds they're going to score 3 runs in that 7th inning, and that's where you use your weapon, and it worked out.
Exactly. So can't say anything more about these guys. I'm just so proud of them for, you know, the way they played all year long and the way they've played the section tournament and this tournament. You know, it's the experience they had last year that got them through both because, you know, they never got rattled. They never, you know, they just hang in there, and they just want to come out and play baseball. And they're already asking, when are we leaving for Millbank? And they're ready to roll. We're ready. We'd like to win a game now, since, you know, this is the Central Plains, and last year we came close and lost our first one 9-7 and the second one 4-1. I think it'd be, you know, we want to get down there, maybe win a game or 2, and get a good experience going.
Yeah, they were a couple of very close games last year in Viroqua, Wisconsin. This time around, you go Millbank, South Dakota. It's you know, unlike the state tournament, there's maybe not as much pressure. There's pressure,
right?
But you've got that state tournament win, and now you're here to have maybe even more fun.
That's exactly what we did. I mean, we took the big Greyhound down, and it was just a great experience. On the way back, we visited Valley Fair to kind of treat the kids for their success, and I think they've been looking forward to Millbank, and so have some of the parents. They've mentioned it on and off. I know one grandparent has. Joel's grandfather's. I think he's got a golfing buddy down there, and he's really excited right now.
Oh, I imagine they're revved up, and you guys get to play the final game of the day, the 8 o'clock game on Thursday.
Oh, I'm glad. I did not know that.
You get to play Millbank, the host team.
Oh, this is good. This is good. And that will be fun. The host team and the last game of the night under the lights.
Yeah.
So, and we played there before about 3 years ago. We went down for an invitational tournament they had, so we kind of know the lay of the land. And in fact, we did play Millbank that first game, so they kind of roughed us up. But it's their home, and so we're just going to go down and have some fun. And give them a go.
And now you get to kind of celebrate things tonight. You have welcome home at 6 o'clock at the golf course, 6:15 at the American Legion, and celebrate this a little bit further.
You betcha. And take home another banner. I know we've hung 3 of them up now in the last 6 years, and I'm pretty darn proud of the whole program, all the guys that have played. And in fact, I wear my white shirt that we got this summer. We had the 98 team play the 2003 team, and I think that was a point, too, in our summer where these guys realized that, oh, yeah, we are a good team, because we played the 98 team to a 5-5 tie, and it was a tremendous game, and the fans had a great time.
And you hope to have more reunions like that, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's being planned for 2 years from now again, so hopefully they're still in shape.
Well, we'll see you down in Millbank. It's been just great watching you guys play, and hope for more success yet.
You betcha. Thanks.
All right, Mark Frost, Coach Hope-Finley, and we'll come back and wrap it up right after this 90-second timeout. Well, we thank Coach Mark Frost for coming up and talking with us once again. And again, Hope-Finley, the state champion, second straight year in Class B Legion Baseball. They win 3-0 this afternoon over LaMoure. Hope-Finley goes 5-0 in the state tournament down here at LaMoure. I'd like to thank all the people here in LaMoure. They've run an exceptional tournament. It's been great. I had a couple days ago actually came here and wasn't getting any electricity to my sports broadcast equipment and found out that I had a faulty cord, and they went to great lengths to try to find me a new one, and we used that the last couple days and got on the air, and want to thank everyone for that. And they ran a very nice tournament here in LaMoure and did a great job, and I wouldn't be surprised if they hold another one within the next few years here in LaMoure. So Hope-Finley, they'll move on to the kind of the Great Plains, Upper Midwest kind of, if you would call it that, national tournament. They'll play at 8 o'clock on the Thursday night against the host team, Millbank, South Dakota. So back-to-back years they go to that tournament as well. Last year they lost in 2 straight, but they played a couple of very close ball games, and that they had decent pitching, decent hitting, and maybe had a couple of errors last year. And this team, they have played exceptional always around hitting, pitching, defense, and could expect that maybe they'll win at least one this time around. So it'll be very interesting to see that. And once again, they will meet tonight, 6 o'clock at the golf course, 6:15 at the American Legion in Hope for a welcome home, and everyone can meet them there and congratulate them on a job well done here at the state tournament, and to wish them the best of luck coming up starting this Thursday in Millbank, South Dakota. So it's been great to cover this tournament, watching Hope-Finley once again. And they know that they had to get through a very tough section, and could maybe see Thompson next year. Thompson might have the best shot next few years, so it could be very interesting to see the section and the state tournament in the next few years to come. So that'll do it for our coverage here at the State Class B Legion Baseball Tournament from Townsend Field in LaMoure. We ask you, as always, to patronize our sponsors, at the very least stop in and thank them. We thank all those who sponsored coverage of the State Legion Baseball Tournament. Jennifer Keating, our engineer, done a nice job this afternoon, Jennifer. And from Townsend Field at the State Tournament in LaMoure for KMAV Sports, I'm Craig Keating.